Peace, power, balance, vibration, equilibrium, all that good shit. I'm going to break down the planetary energies in regards to calling the retrograde. Now, before I even go into that, I want to understand what a retrograde is. The retrogrades are not the planets, actually the luminaries that are basically. A retrograde is not basically a retrograde is not when the planets are still. What a retrograde is when the luminaries of the planetary, aka the planetary bodies, are actually in the same alignment as the position of the Earth in regards to their rotation as well to the traveling through space of the solar system. Now, that's just a short breakdown of that, and also dealing with how the influences of those energies basically influence that happens on a broader aspect, and then influences shit later on, and then that plays out in the three-dimensional aspect of life and in your surroundings, and people, places, and things, and throughout the world in general. So now you have it's 4 planets in retrograde currently right now. Mercury is in retrograde in Leo. Mercury is in retrograde in Leo. Saturn is in retrograde in Aries. Neptune is retrograde in Aries, and Pluto is in retrograde in Aquarius. Now I'm going to I'm gonna break down the energies and also break down what that is correlating to, and also in regards to that, the energy that may play out naturally that you understand as play as an influence behind that back and support why the fuck certain shit plays out and like what's going on. This is how the better way to handle that energy and utilize and take advantage of, not take advantage of it, but understand how this influence is playing out so you don't get caught under the influence that you can rise above it. Now, Mercury is correlated to thinking, analyzing, communication. It's in Leo, so that means that's fixed fire. So you can be fixated on your thoughts and ideas and your visions and how you visualize things. Are you fixated on how you spark those ideas or that spark that visualization mentally or esoterically? So now, correlating to that, that's still that Mercury in Leo retrograde is going from July 17th to August 11th. And during the meantime, though, it's correlated. This retrograde occurs entirely in Leo, potentially leading to dramatic communication, ego clashes, and relationship challenges. Now, Saturn is correlating to time, order, discipline, structure, how one view reality, or how that one's reality is being structured, how it's being structured or in some way, shape, or form. Now it's dealing with Aries, so it's dealing with cardinal fire. Cardinal fire is basically able to spark the idea, spark the vision, spark the how one's visualized. You go always spark a new idea, or you go as always a way of sparking an idea. But it's in retrograde, so it's correlating to that. It's also a conjunction to that too as well. But before I get into the conjunction of the planet, what it's conjuncting, I'm going to the general aspect of it. Saturn retrograde is generally associated with introspect, a review of commitments, and a possible reevaluation of life structures. The impact of it may be not absolute. It can bring a slow down, delays, and a need to revisit past issues or unfinished business. It's a time to reflect on responsibilities, boundaries, and how you're managing your energy. And that Saturn and Aries retrograde is currently playing out from July 12th into November 27th. And during the meantime, as it's going on, Saturn is currently conjunct 1 degree Aries, which is conjunct in the fixed star in the constellation of Pegasus, which is called Curve. But the influence behind that, and during the meantime, while that retrograde is playing out, there's a potential danger. Being mindful that there's a potential danger of being jilted by a lover. What does jilted mean? It means probably be abandoned or rejected by a lover or some shit. That's basically what that may play out, or already has played out, or it may be an influence of energy like that. So this is a way how to actually understand where that influence is coming from, so that you can handle that better. Now, Neptune retrograde. Neptune retrograde is currently Neptune's in retrograde in Aries right now. So Neptune is dealing with your dreams, illusions, creativities, and imaginations, and it's currently in Aries. So it's that energy. The energy is basically you be able to spark new thoughts and ideas. You able to spark new dreams, new imaginations, forms of creativity. Just off of the fixed fire, off the cardinal fire. As a matter of fact, Aries is a cardinal fire energy. So basically, you spark that. You can initiate that. You can spark a new imagination, a new creativity, new imaginations, new forms of different illusions and shit like that. But during the meantime, though, retrograde is going to be going through Aries phase, and it's going to travel back into Pisces, and then before, as it goes back direct, it'll go into back into Aries after it goes direct. During the meantime, though, that Neptune retrograde, it currently would be from July 4th to December 10th. During the meantime, in the Aries phase, and it will go into a Pisces shift type shit in between that before it goes back direct by that time. So during the meantime, the initial phase of the Aries retrograde in regards to Saturn will encourage taking inspired action towards your visions, prompting reality check on idealistic tendencies or procrastination. And later on during the retrograde down the line, before it gets to the November 27th, before it goes back direct to go back into Aries, and then go into this Pisces phase, the shift back to Pisces will bring a softer, more intuitive energy, prompting a deeper look into emotions, spiritual practices, and creative projects. Also, the fixed star conjunction of the planet Neptune currently in his retrograde at this time is the Neb Katos. It's a fixed star in the constellation of Cetus. So during the meantime, though, the influence you might be dealing with that in regards to trying to spark new thoughts and ideas, dealing with your creativity, dreams, illusions, and imaginations, is basically you may experience a form of disagreeableness, fixed opinions, mechanical and inventive abilities, particular religious ideals, very zealous, domestic disagreements, sorrow through some forms of secrets, troubles through children or imaginations, disagreement with or separation from parents, harm from anonymous letters, or loss through mercurial affairs, in fires, or people trying to burn down or burn bridges or burn ideas or try to burn shit down, like, or try to fuck up structures or fuck up something that you got going on, or you may accidentally fuck up something that you have going on yourself type shit. It may bring energy to that. But that's the influence that's currently dealing with and correlating to that fixed star energy currently right now at this time, because planetary degrees travel based upon what the distance of the planets, the luminaries, it did basically different phases. The outer planets is Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So those are just further out from the 7 main bodies of the planets, which is from the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. They basically just, those are the 7 main moon luminaries. So now, Pluto is dealing with how you take power, control, and dealing with transformation. Transformation going from one state to another, dealing with life and death, situation. It's basically the same thing. So, in regards to that, it's currently in Aquarius. So it's dealing with the fixed air. Yes. So it's dealing with it's dealing with fixed air. So you could be fixated how you think, analyze, communicate, and you probably take power, control in that. But it's currently in retrograde. So it's basically dealing with you could be fixated in your thinking, analyzing, communication in regards to how you take power and control in dealing with transformation. So in regards to that, this is a general aspect of it in regards to the retrograde, is to look at how you interact with the communities, technology, and the internet. Consider how you define success and whether your current path aligns with your true self. Possible effects, not absolute, these are just influences and dealing with energies. You may experience emotional ups and downs, profound dreams, and a need to revisit past experiences. It's a time for deep inner purification and emotional rebirth. And I'm just currently dealing with the Pluto energy. You don't want to get caught up in Pluto, and if you want to take power control over that in regard to handling church in that type of area. Otherwise, the influences may transform shit for you. So you want to just basically be able to take care of your own, take that power and take power and control and deal with your transformations. It's where you're handling from things, transition from one thing to another, or handling it as you go about your life in general. And there's a fixed star conjunct in that right now at this time. It's not going to be all the time, but as it goes to the retrogrades, it's going to go a degree back or so in relative to being able to track down the tropical system and astrology. But however, it's going to go as it goes back direct in October 13th. But the retrograde began in May 4th of this year all the way up to October 13th. So the planet Pluto will basically go into retrograde and then go back direct in October 13th. So the fixed star conjunct in that right now. It's the fixed star of Alsheen. It's in the constellation of Aquila. And dealing with that type of energy to conjunct that, what's currently correlating with that shit is that it's basically the nature of Mars and Jupiter, dealing with passions, motivations, and attentions, deterrent motives, how you fight, aggression, how you move forward and shit, how you take that, how you use that type of energy, Martian energy, and Jupiter dealing with growth and expansions, travels, celebrations, growth, those type of things in general. I'm not going in depth, I'm just breaking down quick energies and shit like that. But the fixed star Alsheen in the constellation of Aquila is currently conjuncting Pluto at this time. So that's currently dealing with, it is said to give great imagination, strong passions, an indomitable will, a dominating character, influence over others, clairvoyance, a keen penetrating mind, and ability for chemical research or alchemical research. It is also said to be associated with the signs of that's just general and shit like that. That's just dealing with the fixed stars and the tarot. I don't even gotta really get into that right now. That's not a video for that. I'm just breaking down the energies currently for that, so that way you know how to take advantage of the energies and go how to handle things in your life on an everyday basis on your own time. So, with that being said, that's it for the retrogrades. And hopefully you can utilize the energies in your favor and go about handling things and taking your time and going about shit. And thank you for watching this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't keep it all to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Press the like button. And you have a great day, night, afternoon, evening, whenever time you find this video.